Hi, everybody. We're back. This is another episode of Chatting with Asta. And if you're just joining us and this is your first time viewing, this is a series that I have put together, bringing together people that I find both inspirational and informational from all walks of life and just really cool people. Some people I know, some people I don't. Today, my guest is EMEKA NWAFOR, and he is an awesome actor, really cool guy. We met on a production of The Creeper's Curse, which we'll get into. And yeah, don't forget to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share, and welcome to the show, EMEKA.
Woo! Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So excited. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let it roll, baby. Let it roll.
But yeah, we met on The Creeper's Curse, and it seems as though that has infected most of our nation right now, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone just has this sickness, you know. But you know, that was a really awesome project to meet you on.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It was the time I came to audition. You were in the room as well, correct?
I don't think so. I was by myself. It was weird because at the time I was auditioning for a character named Steph. And it was a whole different.
It was a whole different project.
Yeah, it was a whole different. Well, it was like it was supposed to be in a. It wasn't in a kitchen. I wasn't a chef.
It was in a nunnery.
Yeah,
you know.
It was so different. But yeah, you brought so much great energy to the set, and that was like such a fun premise, which I think, if you'll agree, like sometimes comedy and satire is a great way to get strong messages across.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's interesting because I actually didn't like. They actually wrote that role for me because I actually read for Evan's part.
Oh.
Actually, yeah. Fun fact. Yeah. So it was cool, but they were like, you know, thank you, you know, like for the energy appreciation. But they were like, you know, dude, we gotta have him a part of the project. So like, you know, they wrote a little part for me, and I'm glad. You know, I'm glad I was involved in some way. You know, so it was cool to see how it all came together, and it was a great team effort. You know?
Really fun, and we unfortunately didn't get to do our Queens World Film Festival.
I know. I was getting ready for that too.
Yeah.
I know.
The last minute, I was like, "Oh, it's online. Let me share it real fast for like, you know, a few hours for people to maybe watch."
It's like just maybe. I mean, hopefully, I mean, like, you know, maybe we can still do something like. Cause I mean, you know, today was the first day of like reopening, so maybe like late in the summer, it'd be cool summer little thing, you know. You know, summer Monster Fest. That'd be fun.
Yeah, but I'm definitely proud to be part of the project. Shout out to Blake Rice and Hunter Hoffman for involving us.
Yeah.
Really crazy team. We shot that on Memorial Day, and it was like
hectic. Yeah. I remember like I came like, cause for me I came in the nighttime, so I remember like, you know, going to Queens like late at night, and like you guys are already like rolling. You guys are already like in the sauce. And I was like, damn, this is great, man. Like, you know, they filmed in their restaurant beneath their apartment, right? Yeah, so that's great location, you know, and it was cool, man. It was efficient. The team, they have a really great team there, you know?
Yeah.
And when seeing Ryan in that makeup, oh my God, dude. Like, that's a sweet little project.
And you just have to be like,
you know. Yeah, I know, like, hey guys. The lovable manager.
Yes. I mean, he's great. He's great. But I've been such a fan of you since just connecting with you in that project, and you know, just seeing you just show up on all these ads, like this like weather ad, like what's the experience like for you having your face like everywhere?
I know. It's kind of surreal. Like it's funny because I actually shot that thing for NBC like what are we in 2020? Maybe like 2018, like early 2018, and like they just renew it. So at first it really wasn't on like train platforms. It was like, you know, like usually on commercials, like you watch the news or watching SNL and like we'll have like that commercial. But then like, you know, like, hey, we're gonna renew the contract, whatever, and you know, before I know it, like, I get messages like, hey dude, I saw you on my way to work. I'm like, what? Like, I saw you at a bus stop. I'm like, what? And it's funny. I still have not seen it live. Like, it's been like 2-3 years. I haven't seen it. Like,
always on Hulu. You're always on
Oh,
Hulu.
I know.
God.
And like also like Union Square as well. But I don't go there that much, you know, like usually 'cause I'm in Brooklyn and I work in Midtown, so I just always bypass Union Square. So unless I really wanted just to get off one stop before 34th and just wait patiently to see my face, you know, like I'm not that vain.
Yeah.
You know, I'll act a little vain. Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. But like if I really, or you know, had to wait for it, but like, I still haven't seen it live. So maybe one day.
One day.
One day I'll see my face.
It's really cool. What is it like to be part of so many like brands? Like you've done like Wheat Thins.
Yeah, some stuff like I did a Facebook thing, Samsung. It's interesting because like I don't know, it's awesome to see it, but it's just kind of like, you know, just building up a resume and like, but it is fun like see because obviously every project has a new team and you meet new people and you see how like different people work, which is really awesome because you can see how some directors and teams go super fast, like stick to the book. Or some people will like let you improv or add on, you know. It's good and bad for both processes.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes like if it's like a long day, you just want to wrap it up. Okay.
I just like
how many more variations or like that Wheat Thins thing? I can't eat like Wheat Thins for a while. Like I had to eat like 3 different products for like hours and hours. Like it got terrible towards the end.
Yeah.
You know, so. I'm curious how people do like burger commercials. Like, can you imagine a McDonald's commercial? Did they really eat like constantly like take bites? I don't know. Like, I'm curious about that stuff because chips was bad. So I can't imagine like hefty, like Popeyes or like Boston Market. That's still a thing, like that must be a lot.
Yeah,
so,
I worked with a dog on a commercial for Home Depot, and the crazy thing that I got from all of that was I worked with a dog named Waffles.
Waffles.
And I smelled like salmon jerky for like a week because they kept making me put like dog treats.
Have something on you, right?
so I can't stand the smell of salmon jerky anymore. I'm like
salmon jerky. For that same NBC commercial, there was a dog for it was one of the producer's dogs, and I had to put cheese in my face so he would lick me. Yeah. So like, yeah. So I was like, in between of like, I think his name was Max or something like that. I forgot his name, but like, I was like, like rub cheese in my face. I'm like, come on, Max, come on. Like, this, usual day at work, rubbing cheese in your face. So that's comes with the territory.
Yeah. So we both work with dogs that they're like, you get paid bonding time because I got paid bonding time.
Bonding time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not.
I was like, my wardrobe day was a whole day, which was insane.
Okay.
I was flown to North Carolina. I tried on like, no joke, like 200 outfits and show 70 outfits to an entire board of people. And it just felt like really it felt weird.
Excessive.
Yeah. But they had me with the dog and I was in holding with the dog for like hours just getting to know it. And the owner wanted the dog to smell me, to deal with me and all this stuff so that we would have this natural like 30-second moment for this.
I know. Were you like walking in the commercial or were you at home with it? Like what was the...
We're at the beginning and I'm like petting the dog. Literally, it's just like I pet the dog and like, let's go. And we run out the door. Like, and then the other one is I run up the stairs and it runs up after me.
Yeah.
But like I'm not kidding, like 5 hours bonding with this dog, learning everything about its whole history and life. And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't do this with my co-stars. Like,
I know. But that's the awesome thing with like animals. Cause like, you do need to build that rapport just so they like, like they could like on command, you could bring them to you. And we did another one for like the one you've seen is the summer one where I'm getting like rained down, but there's a winter one. And where like I'm at home and the dog, that's when I had to rub the cheese on my face. The dog runs and jumps to the couch. But it was like 6 months later, but it recognized me. So, which was pretty awesome, like that's why I love dogs. Dogs just love, and they just like, if you like, obviously, doing a commercial or any shoot, it's hours, it's like the majority of the whole day. So you spend a lot of time with the animal, So I was very surprised that like months later, like you knew who I recognized my smell and everything, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, I don't have any pets, so it's like to see that, like anytime I get a chance to work with dogs, I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
like that was cool, man.
Super empathetic.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, super empathetic creatures who
Yeah.
don't politicize their mind and
Yeah.
all the craziness. But I wanted to ask you about you were participated in a pandemic project. You worked on a film called Stay Home, correct?
Stay Home. Yeah.
What was that like?
That was interesting. That was so interesting how that came about. I literally was like on the phone talking to my buddy, and then I get a call. It was like a Massachusetts number, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I was born in Boston.
Yeah.
Excuse me, guys, for wearing this Laker jersey. Sorry, it's Kobe. But so I got like I don't really know anyone in Massachusetts now. So I was like, I guess. And also, it was a time when I was kind of waiting for unemployment. So I was like, any number, I was like,
yes.
I was picking up anything. So I picked up, answered the phone, and this guy was like, hi, Mr. EMEKA. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, hey, my name's so-and-so, and I have this project, and I think you'd be great for it. And I was like, oh, yeah, word. And like, and it's like, and I'm not going to turn down, like, he told me what it was about. He told me it was about, he wanted to make a project dealing with the whole corona pandemic.
Yeah.
It's about a couple who got affected by it. And I was like, dude, hell yeah. Like, I'm not doing anything right now. So please, let's do this, And the way it happened, so he called me out of the blue. So I didn't have his number, but apparently I submitted for a project of his in the past. And I guess, he just saved my information. Yeah. So I guess, like, it's also funny how the universe works. Like, you never know, like, who may save your information, they may have a project for you, or they may, like, maybe not now, but maybe down the line, you may get called, That's how the industry works. So he hit, pretty much was like, boom, like, he hit me up, offered me the role, I accepted, and then literally, like, the next week, we filmed it in his apartment, and it was the actress in it, she lives in Chicago, so we actually FaceTime, so I never met her, so it actually kind of helped, like, create that, like, that distance being, like, I miss you, I want to see you, like, because she was literally thousands of miles away, but we filmed it in a couple of hours,
Wow.
And I like kind of like quick shoots like that, like, because you don't need much, you can still make a powerful project with 2-3 people,
Yes.
Like, it's amazing when you're on a project, like, I can imagine, like, the Avengers, which is like 100,000 people on, your whole crew, but you could also make, like, an indie film with 4 people, and it's just as powerful, just as poignant, So that was a really fun project, and for me, it was a good change, because, like, my heart's in film, I love film, and, like, you watch my Instagram stories, I'm constantly watching movies, like, every day, and it was a good change of pace from commercials to a film, especially something that's current, we're still not out of the gate of it yet, and such a global thing. It's not like it's like a New York thing or a US, it's like a global thing, So to do a project on it and to get the feedback of the response, people like, yo, I really felt that. Like, it just, that's why I do what I do. I love making people feel, giving people, like, make them think about things, and make them think about, like, their actions and how they can be different, make a change. And it was really fun to do something like that. And I'm glad I got the opportunity for it, It was just different. It was a good change of pace, and, like, hopefully do more projects like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that especially, something that reflects the time, something that is, like, relevant to a feeling, you're like immediately jumping at it. And I think that makes it into a time capsule piece, more than any other project. And speaking of timeless, moment pieces, the reason I have this background is because you actually participated in a Night of the Living Dead live. Do you want to talk about that experience?
Yeah, so that was back when I was still living in Jersey. There's a local theater there, and I did, like, this they had, like, an Edgar Allan Poe like themed show, like, performances of his different tales and stories. So that was really cool. I was part of, like, the Telltale Heart, which is like one of my favorite. I know that's one of my favorite Edgar Allan Poe stories, and So that's the first time I actually was a part of the local theater there. It was in South Orange, New Jersey. And so I think it might have been a year or so after that. I think this might have been 2015, 2016. Let me double check. But they said we're gonna do Night of the Living Dead, and the director just straight up came to me. He's like, "Hey man, I want you to do this." I was like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "The movie's awesome," and I never knew there was like a theater production of it. You know, I wish they did that on. I don't know if they do that on Broadway. I think it's more smaller productions, but I've never seen like. To me, like, I've never seen that on Broadway. So I was like, okay, yeah, dude, let's do it, you know? And that was a really fun project. And it was cool because, you know, that was my kind of my first taste of a little bit like stunt choreography. Like, I had my rifle, you know, busting zombies in the head. And, you know, it was really cool. And, like, we had, like, since the movie's in black and white, so we had, obviously, all our wardrobe was, like, you know, white button down, black slacks. And we had this, like, white, grayish makeup on, you know, to keep the whole thing just like black and white. So that was super fun. And yeah, it was a hit. It was a blast, you know. That's probably one of my like top 3 most fun projects I've done.
It looked
hands
fun.
down.
If y'all should check out, there's photos online. I'm gonna link all of your stuff in the description so that people can check out more of your work. But yeah, that looked like a hell of a time, and it's such a great project, and it's always relevant, like no matter what's going on in the world, because it's so much more centered on like, even when there's a phenomenon happening like zombies taking over, it's always
zombies.
The people that are the scary part, the way that they act when they're enclosed, when they are face to face with their either lack of humanity or like
we're the animals, you know.
Totally. It's sad, but it's true. And I mean, how have you been dealing with all the social upheaval and the pandemic, like people being forced to reckon with themselves? Like, how have you been dealing with that?
So I'm definitely an extrovert, but like I feel like I'm an extroverted introvert. Like I love, you know, being at home, being by myself, whatever, but I love people. I'm such a people person, you know. I love bringing good energy, stuff like that. So like it's funny, like I'm sure there's a bunch of memes, like, you know, like, okay, I like staying at home, but not when you tell me to. Don't tell me to stay home, like, you know, like, you know. So it's been interesting. I just got my own place in November, so now, you know, no roommates and by myself. So I was like, boom, 2020, it's gonna be awesome. You know, oh my God, it's gonna be a great year. And that's like January, you know, and like February, I had like a nice photo shoot in like Philly. And even then, I wasn't even, it was like February 19th. And I didn't hear about this thing.
Yeah.
No, because like I damn well know that no one on set was talking about this thing. Yeah. And that's the 19th. So it wasn't until like end of February, early March, when, you know, no one was coming to my restaurant. I'm like, oh, this is a thing. This is like big, you know? So being at home and just like talk to my plants, I got nothing else to do, you know? I'm just like, wow, at first it was kind of rough. Like, you know, obviously it was like jarring, like seeing how it's affecting everyone, you know, because like, you know, it was France first? Oh no, wait, Italy? Wait, Italy was like the second biggest one, but I forgot where it hit first.
Well, Italy was considered the European epicenter. So,
epicenter, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like it was, I can't remember, I feel like some place got hit before Italy. Then Italy got really bad. You know? Like we can look that up. It's online.
It's online.
But like, yeah, Italy, so once like, boom, Italy got really hit, and then, you know, boom, then it came to us, and it was like, wow, this is crazy, you know? Like, and it's one of those things where like, how could I say? It's like, because it's like this invisible monster, like, it's hard to grasp, you know, because it's like, because like as a human, we look for answers. We want answers, you know. We want to like know facts. Like, okay, you know, 2 and 2 is 4. Like this causes that. So the fact that it's something totally new and we don't know, it's a weird feeling because like it just says, hey, stay home, don't talk to, you know, don't be around people. It's just like, wait, what? Like, what is this? You know? And it's like, I don't know. I've obviously never been through something like this before. Because I think growing up, we went through SARS and like the bird flu. That's our time, right? Like I definitely remember SARS in like middle school, high school, whatever. And I was like, it wasn't. I guess it was a little more under control. But that was kind of the first like, and like as a kid, you don't care about that stuff. You're just watching, things on like the WB or whatever, like watching Recess. Like I don't really care about that. So as an adult going through this, and it's like, oh damn, like this is kind of bad. So it was definitely a new experience. And being in New York, Cuomo's done a good job. New York tough. Like I think as a state, we handled this pretty well. Our numbers are low, and that's pretty awesome. Like compared to other places, who are just like, let's open up the state, let's go. And I was like, oh, all right, like we're gonna watch you do that, But it was definitely an interesting experience for sure. I'm glad it's near the end. Hopefully, knocking on wood, But yeah, it was kind of tough just being by myself, just being locked up. But I'm trying to like do new things. Like I fixed up my apartment a lot, and getting artwork. I became like a small artwork dealer. I just bought posters and like canvases. I got like I'm fixing my bike. So like it kind of like not forced you, but it kind of motivated you to do things that you probably wouldn't have had a chance to do while you're in your regular 9 to 5 or probably as an actor your 3 to midnight schedule. Like so I was able to do things like like let me fix up some things and like self-care, which I think everyone needed to do. And also it was great to see how the earth was like, damn, I could breathe now. Mother Nature was like, I needed a break. Like dolphins in the canal in Rome and all those things. Like
but it's sad. Berg. I just heard of.
Yeah.
But I think what I've gathered, especially in doing this series, is like it's so important that even before and after this, like that we take time to connect to each other more because like we're all get so busy and caught up with our productivity that we put that as a priority over those kinds of self-care or just like it's a weird time. And you and I've talked, and you brought up the Avengers earlier, and like sharing that video about how
the protesters
in this video, but there's a video that people put, and it's like equating like that clip from it's Endgame, right? It's Endgame.
Yeah, that was Endgame.
Yeah, it's a clip from Endgame, and it's like labeling like everybody in the Avengers as like the protesters, the donators, the petition signers, the
Amish.
White people. Oh, the Amish, the white people using their privilege as a shield. And it's like I don't know. It's like really important to.
It's eye-opening.
Yeah, try to just also to digest major things through humor sometimes, because
it's necessary.
Yeah, things get really serious, and I think if you and I've talked about how it's just important to like. Many people are opening their eyes up to things that really have always been problems.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, it's our responsibility to deepen that understanding. And there's an energy in the air that is allowing people to use love to fuel themselves. And definitely like, all the good vibes to the people, power to the people. And on that note, I wanted to ask you, I like to ask all my guests, what kind of message would you want to send out to the universe right now? I would send it out on your behalf.
So for me personally, we kind of like mentioned this, talked about this briefly earlier, but I want more females and people of color to have more prominent roles in our industry. It's like, obviously we've been over the past couple of years, we've been seeing it, but like just more, like, I just want us to do, because like there's so many talented, Indian Americans, Asians, Latino, African Americans, like all types that you don't really see. I think it's on Hulu. I don't have Hulu, but I know there's a show called Remy. Like I heard, like I know he did really well the Emmys, and but like that's great. Like he's like a Muslim American, and like seeing messages like that, like when like obviously awards aren't everything, but like it's obviously in our industry, it's nice to get those accolades, you know.
Yeah.
So to see that, to hear about that, that's awesome, you know. And like finding out, like for example, I don't know if you have Disney Plus, but I don't know, you heard the show The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yes. Yes.
So it's actually really, I think it's a dope show. And one of the directors, her name's Deborah Chow, she's gonna direct the Obi-Wan series. And it's awesome because it's like an Asian female is gonna direct one of the biggest names in Star Wars. You know, it's like, that's sick. And like her episodes that she directed in The Mandalorian were badass. You know, so it's seeing and hearing things like that is very promising. And like, I want more of that. You know, I want more.
Cause like, on a cultural level, if we consider white the neutral, then we completely cease any like complicitness in, that's how we can change systemic racism on the entertainment scale.
Yeah.
Like putting more people in charge, seeing more stories. And I can say as a Latina, like I would like to be able to share the stories that I know, not just the stories that white people tell me that my role fits in. Like there are other stories, and I know a lot of women of color and people of color in general in the community that have stories, they just aren't getting the funding. So I'm blessed to see, or I feel blessed to see that people are asking finally, but those people are out there, and they've been out there, and they've been begging and hoping to be noticed. And you are a strong energy. You know, people straight up write roles just to fit you into their projects, and you seem to really care about like your impact in the narratives that you take part in. And I hope to see more of your work in the future. Anybody that's out there watching, if you're creating stuff, get this guy, because he is fun to be around.
Us. Let's get us. Get us in there, you know?
Girl.
Let's get in the sauce. Let's get in the sauce.
Because we need more of that. We need more people fueling that fire, and that fire needs to include all types of people for it to be strong.
All types of people.
All types. Yeah. Thank you so much for being on my show. It's been so wonderful catching up with you. And
cool, you know?
Totally.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.
I want more women and people of color to have prominent roles in the entertainment industry. Period.